Hello, look at this. It's the inside of an old black and white TV. What does that mean? I'm back. Yes, and hopefully this time a bit more permanent. Yeah, finally, I did mention in the last video I was relocating, and this is where I've relocated to. A nice big house with lots of sheds and a nice big workshop that I can actually tinker with my TVs again finally after for the first time probably damn near 3 or 4 years. So all my TVs are out of storage. Ironically, I was quite timely. Where they were stored, I got an email about a month after I moved in here to say, we're knocking down the building, so you better come empty your lockup before the end of the year. It was like, oh shit. But thankfully, I got the space here and was able to bring everything out and put it in the big garage next door. So yeah, we're back in business. Very basic workshop setup at the moment. I said it's just the basic, yeah, just sort of the basic setup right now, and I may add to things later on. And I've thought it thing fitting. I've got all these old Tektronix valve oscilloscopes, and I thought, well, why not incorporate that one there and use it? Although it has got a couple of faults. I've noticed it needs some attention. The horizontal is not behaving itself. It does sorts of weird things, but after it warms up, it kind of comes right. And essentially, it's also a room heater as well. It runs quite, sort of creates a bit of heat. I do have a bit of a soft spot for these old Tektronix scopes. Yeah, that's just something, another little thing. I actually had a whole heap of these, and I gave them away to another collector because when I was moving, I just ran out of room. So. But I keep this one because it's an early storage one, and it actually, when it works quite well. So yeah. But anyhow, back to the TV in question. So yeah, so this set is a Pye. It's a Pye model T25Y, made in the late 60s here in New Zealand, of course. And luckily, these sets actually had a date code on the yoke. So we've got, I think that's say 16th of December 1969. So there you go. It actually makes it, what's that, 50 years? Yeah, it'd be about right. So yeah. This one here, and there's the front of it, just so you're curious what it actually looked like, and it's got a missing sort of thing off the knob. I don't know where it went. And yeah, all my future videos are going to be ad hoc. There's going to be no rehearsal. Basically, just going to do them on the fly. I don't have a lot of time these days. Life's a bit different from when it was, and I've been sort of picking away at the set again over the past sort of couple of months. It might be once a week, once every couple of weeks, or maybe an hour at a time, or a couple of hours, or 3 hours, or 4 hours, or yeah. So if I do any video updates, are going to be pretty sporadic and pretty random. So just I guess most of my regular subscribers are probably not even watching my videos anymore. They've probably moved on to other things. Yeah. And a shout out to Shanghai66 if you're watching, mate. I love your videos. I love your brute method approach to some of your TVs, and just some of those sets you drag back from those coal mines. Those ones out in the desert. That's just amazing how you managed to get some of those things to run again. But yeah, no, I do love your videos. So if you're watching, big thumbs up from me. And yeah, and also Bob Anderson too, if he's still watching. B Anderson, yeah, I like your videos too, and I know you haven't been very busy of late. Obviously your life's changed, and you've got other things to keep you occupied as well now, which is all good. It's just the way things happen, and yeah, so no, I love your videos too, mate, and yeah, keep posting them as you progress along. So right, diversing again. So yeah, so this TV, I got this. Oh God, I probably got this back in the early late 90s, 98, 99, 2000s possibly. I don't know where it came from. I think it may have got it from a junk shop or a garage sale, something like that. And this would be one of the first sets I probably actually seriously started to sit down and actually restore. It had a lot of faults with it, had a lot of vertical issues and sync issues, and it generally wasn't performing very well. Excuse me. And that was due to some monkey had been in there and actually mucked up had changed components and modified the horizontal sync circuit in the oscillator and the vertical. They altered it for some reason. I don't know why. They patched components in there and done things, and it just wasn't running too good. Luckily too, in the past 10 years, I've managed to accumulate a lot of circuits. So with the help of the circuit, which is here, and another one, which I've got as well, this is another set. This is a T25X, slightly different, but essentially the same thing. As you can see, it's, same thing. This I've never even tried. I got this at a garage sale. I think it was $10. The miserable guy wanted 20. I said, no, I'll give you 10. And we haggled, and I got it for $10. And I basically brought it home, stuck it on the shelf, and it became a shelf queen, like most of them seem to have ended up being. As you can see, it's very sort of similar styling, just different sort of escutcheon, and this that one's got all knobs, and it's called an Astor, which is just another. Just rebadged Pye. That's it. That's all it is, pretty much. I have no idea what these are based on. Whether they were based on an Australian design or an English design. They are hybrid. So you have got transistors in the second high video driver video amplifier. So it's a hybrid setup. But yeah, the majority of it is all valve operated, pretty much just standard, straightforward, rugged, I guess reliable sort of design. It's got a valve tuner in it as well. Circuits are good, nice and easy to follow. You've got all your waveforms down here and all your voltage comparisons, voltage measurements, and so forth. So yeah, quite nicely laid out. And these things actually go. Well, they're a really popular set. I mean, if any retired New Zealand TV techs are watching these videos, they probably know these things probably quite well in some respects. So it's a bit of I've changed quite a few components down on there, it's actually it's actually pretty much, it's not done, but it's getting close to being done. But when you say you're done, always something crops up, and you take two steps forward and 3 steps backward sometimes with these restorations. As all you guys well know, uses a 38HE7. It's a dual pentode dual pentode diode. A valve all in one, tube all in one. I think these are. These might be a bit like a I'm guessing these would be like a compactron that the American sets used. I'm not sure if these are used in any American sets. I don't know. I'm guessing probably more that being of a Japanese origin. There's probably a Japanese. In fact, that one's got Matsushita on it. So yeah, national Panasonic. And I guess they were used in quite a few sets. They were a lot of the smaller. This chassis layout sort of had various inclinations. The bigger sets had separate boost diode and line output valve. But these smaller ones had these dual ones. What else can I tell you about it? I'll probably go overboard. Like changing all those shithouse resistors. These things. Come on, camera focus. These things again are notorious for drifting way off value, and of course it went through and changed. Going through and changing quite a few there. I mean, I don't have to, but I actually quite enjoy, going through and just checking all the old components and finding these at tolerances, changing them. I mean, I've got so many bloody resistors, it's not funny. I might as well use them up, And I have noticed some slight improvements here and there as I've changed them. There's still some more. That's an HT dropping resistor to the first IFL. I think it's an EF183, ECL84, which is it's part of the AGC and the sound detector. AGC and sorry about that. AGC and the audio pentode for the sound. And we've got various other transistors down there as well. Transistor in there is those are your first and second standard transistors down there, and so forth. And yeah, there's still a few. Sorry, I'm looking at the I'm fingering up the camera. So yeah, there's still a few more to change, but yeah, majority it seems to be they have had no real hiccups with it so far, but there are still a few more bits and pieces to do on it. So that's pretty much a good look at it. It's got a really good picture tube in it, nice and test, nice and strong. And there's a speaker up in there and the tuner. So if we just hinge it up, you've got the rest of it in here. The printed circuit board, I've got to swap that off to the other side. Just looking at it, looks a bit manky. But yeah, look, it's a hobby. I just do it when I want to do it, and you'll never get these things perfect. And as long as they go and produce a reasonable picture and reliable, that's the main thing. It's all about the hobby. You're tinkering and playing and experimenting and so forth. Yeah, that filter cap's a bit manky too. It's doesn't get hot, but yeah, I've been noticing a few hum bars coming up the picture. It's probably that or one of those diodes is leaky or something. But yeah, and somebody had been mucking around with all this as well. There's a HT goes through their resistors and caps, and they go off to various parts of the circuit, and there's the boost supply and everything. It's just a bloody mess. So yeah. Sure, frame output valve, PCL85, horizontal oscillator, ECF802, DY87 for your EHT rectifier. That valve gets bloody hot too, rather warm. In the tuner we've got a PC, what have we got in the tuner? 6HA5 and a 6GJ7. I've got to clean the sockets. The sockets in there are dirty, or the valve sockets, when you wiggle them, the bloody picture sort of flickers in and out. Right, okay, let's turn it on. Also, I've found my EHT probe again. It had gone missing in the move, and I finally found it again. Is it a Kairitsu? Yeah, Kairitsu one. It does the job. Seems to do the job okay. So, waiting for it to warm up. There's that noise there. Here's the old vertical transformer. And there we go. Here's the picture coming up on it now. It actually looks better. It actually looks better in person. So. Yeah. But the other tube on it actually tests really strong. Like if I turn it right up, there's plenty of brightness there, plenty of brightness. The fine tuning seems to work. It's a wee bit at one end, but I'm not too worried about that. As long as it functions, basically. I mean, what can you expect from a 50-year-old TV? And the sound's fine. I've just got it paused because of course, as you know, the YouTube police will copyright any kind of audio that's played through these days. Yeah, so it's pretty much where I'm at the moment with my TV tinkering. Yeah, I've got a lot of TVs. I mean, to be honest, I probably won't even get through most of them. To be honest, but then you never know, I might. If I sit down and sort of have a decent go at a few of them, I might get around to getting a few of them restored. Yeah, I mean, it's other thing too. I work on audio all day, vintage audio all day. You know, I'm doing electronics all day, so you know, I come home. Sometimes I don't want. Sometimes I'd rather sit inside with the other half and you know and relax and unwind. But just thought tonight I'd come out and just sort of give you a little bit of an update. And yeah, I'm still here, still around. Haven't quite dropped off the face of the earth yet. And yeah, I've been watching everyone else's TV restorations and enjoying, you know, all them. So yeah, so yeah, test equipment. Well, I've got this nice Pye, which is one of my mini valve testers. I've got an Avo as well, and it's quite neat. The little Heath capacitor bridge. That's really good for checking leakage. You know, especially you know, I find these Philips capacitors, even though they're old, these dog bone ones, I find these to be really reliable. I think I may have mentioned that before. A lot of European Philips TVs use these capacitors, and I've got no qualms in actually reusing them in actual sets. She might actually just kick the scope in the guts, just because we can. And I'll show you the problem that it's got. I actually got this for I got this at a ham junk sale for the measly sum of $2. I also know that people strip these down for the tubes to use in audio equipment. I sort of think that's a bit sad, but you know, I know these have got lots of nice ECC88s and all sorts of things in them. So yeah, there we go. It's like it's so there's a fault. Hang on. So we've got that's it. We've got a bit of horizontal fold over. You can sort of see in that corner there. I seem to recall when I got this, it had when I got this, it had horizontal. Actually, the waveform, one side of it was all stretched. And I actually found a leaky capacitor in the horizontal section. I don't think this thing has any of those horrible bumblebee caps in there, but I do know that. But yeah, I have a feeling maybe it's something in there has gone a bit AWOL again, or something. So yeah, so that's pretty much and I actually find as it warms up too, as it warms, it gets improved. It doesn't. So there must be there's probably a resistor or a cap or something. Yeah, it's gone washed, like I said. One thing I love about these is they're so nice to work on, these scopes. I mean, I'm not telling, you know, I'm telling you guys what you already know, but yeah, no, it's I mean, you know, I could, you know, I've got a couple of decent dual channel 50 meg solid state scopes under the bench, you know, but think, well, you know, why not use this thing when they need be? Too sure if I whack a probe on it, I might be able to. But, yep. I think that's calibrated out. Oh yeah, love my quality soldering iron. This soldering iron does its job, but it's a bit of the base is quite light, so it's quite easy to tip over. I am going to get a bit of iron. Come on, camera, why don't you focus? Come on, play nice. Come on. Come on, you silly thing. Focus on a nice hot valve, come on. There we go. Now yeah. So yeah, it's cheeso. But for what I do here, for what I'm doing and mucking around, yeah, tinkering in that, I don't really. Hang on, it's not going to work, is it? Hang on, calibration out. Oh, I need to hook it up to that. I need to go into the in, don't I? To get it to work. There we go. Have I got a BNC to BNC? No, I haven't. I haven't got any of my taps anywhere either. But yeah, there's something not right there. You can sort of see. Yeah, it's not right. There's something not quite right going on there. Ooh, that looks really wrong, actually. That really does look wrong. It's probably just dirty controls or something. But something's not quite right there. And I'm probably making a fool of myself as well, so hang on, that looks a bit better. You know, pull the time base out a wee bit. Yes, you can sort of see. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. So it does work. Of sorts. Yeah, so there you go. It goes, and yeah, so I'll get around to looking at that some other time. Right, 20 minutes is long enough. But, oh well, I hope you enjoyed this little update from me, and yeah, expect to see some future videos at some stage. Not too sure when. Maybe when I start on this one. Maybe I might do just a power it on, brute force power it on, see what it does, see what smokes. Right, okay. Right, until next time. Catches. Cheers.